Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name's Ian J. Cole and this is the third video in a series about how to start a record label. I run what's called a micro label, which is Sinners Music. In the first two videos we looked at the different types of record label and how to register your business and a little bit about whether you're going to be VAT registered or not. And in this video we're going to focus on sorting out a website and a brief discussion of some of the social media stuff, which we will go into a lot more detail as we go on. What I've decided to do is, because I'm actually getting quite a few questions about areas that I haven't got to yet. I'm going to put in the comments down below, I'm going to put a list of what areas are going to be covered in which videos in this series. Okay, so if you've got any questions, by all means please ask them there. I have been getting quite a few email messages. I'm sorry, my inbox is so busy that it's very difficult to answer that way. So it's much better if you could reply, if you could ask your questions and comment on YouTube, and then everybody will be able to see those comments and I'll answer the questions there. So, right, let's get on to this business about sorting out your website. So the first thing you want to do is we want to do what's called a domain name search, and a domain name search is where we look for what is a web hosting company so that we can purchase the domain name that we want. Now, because we want to call our record company Bog Off Records, that's the domain that we would like. So my record label is Sinners Music, so I have sinnersmusic.co.uk as my web domain. So if I put in here domain name lookup, the first thing we have is a company called www.123.reg, and I have some domain names with them, and there's other, but the interesting one here is that we should always, first of all, let's have a look at Whois. Now the Whois lookup, the data isn't always up to date, but let's just have a look at Sinners Music. So sinnersmusic.com. So sinnersmusic.com is already registered to this company here. So copy that. Let's have a look at there, see what happens. So they are a domain name hosting company. So if I wanted sinnersmusic.com, I already have sinnersmusic.co.uk. I would have to pay these people. So let's put Sinners Music again in and see what comes up. So sinnersmusic.com is for sale, and it's $1,995. So we're not going to be buying that. If we go back to, and we will see this from time to time, that these companies, they harvest domain names just waiting for the right person to come along. Now, we don't need sinnersmusic.com because we've got sinnersmusic.co.uk. Ideally, it would be great if we were able to have .com and .co.uk, but it isn't. In this case, it's not the end of the world. So if we now go back to our, and put in sinnersmusic.co.uk and do the search again, we see that it's registered with 123.reg, and I last updated it earlier this year, and I have the registration until the 7th of May 2021, and I'm not paying very much for it. I think I paid for 3 years, and I think it was about £30, something like that, so it's not out of the way. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a domain name search with 2 websites. We're going to use GoDaddy, and we're going to use 123 Reg. Both of these companies I've got experience with. So the first thing we do is, because we want to call our record company Bog of Records, let's do a search and see whether it's available on 123 Reg. So it is for sale. It's 99p. So they've got a special deal going at the moment. Normally it's a tenner. That's for a year. We could also have. We don't want all of these. I tend not to go for all these extras like .net and .uk and .club. But I may be interested in bogoffrecords.com, which for a year is $6.99, and so I could register both of those domains for less than £10. Let's do exactly the same search on GoDaddy, because we should compare these sites. And I would normally, if I was really looking for these to purchase this web domain, I would be looking at probably 3, maybe 4 sites. Bog off records. Oops. We know that it's available. bogoffrecords.com. You know, it was £6 at 123 Reg. Here it's 99p. So that's a definite. And also bogoffrecords.co.uk is actually only 88p. So for less than £2 for a year, I could have those domain names. What I would probably do is if there's a deal going where I can have it cheap for 3 years, I would take it for longer. But certainly at those sort of prices, I would definitely be interested. So it's definitely worth shopping around for a web domain. Now we're going to move on to websites. So we've organized our domain name. We're going to have a look at initially free websites, but also we'll have a look at a couple of paid ones as well. Now, what I tend to use Weebly, but I've got a list of about 7 or 8 that we'll have a look at. Most of them are free. Let's look at Weebly first, because that's the site that I use for all of my web hosting. I have 3 Weebly sites. We have the sinnersmusic.co.uk site, which is a free site, and we'll have a look at that. I also have the Ian J. Cole, my personal music site, which is again another free website. And I also have a paid site. I have Pocklington Music, which is a business site. So we'll have a look at those. The positive things about Weebly are that the free sites, and having done a little bit more research on this, they are considered one of the best sites, one of the best free sites on the market, mainly because you get unlimited bandwidth. Apparently all of the other free sites will throttle the bandwidth if you've got lots of traffic. That doesn't happen with Weebly. So if you're getting thousands of visits to your site a day, the bandwidth isn't a problem. And the free site does include a basic but it is very basic e-commerce site. So you can have a shop with a few items in there on the free site. And that was partly why the Pocklington Music paid site is a business site, because we paid for it because of the shop. It's generally very easy to use, and you get a reasonable what's called a subdomain. So Sinners Music, so we redirect sinnersmusic.co.uk to the sinnersmusic.weebly.com site. The downside of the free sites is that you have an advert tucked away in the corner. To be fair, most of these sites where they offer a free tier will have some sort of advertising associated with it, some better than others. So here is Weebly's, and you can sign up here. The main thing to have a look at is the pricing and what you actually get for those. So the free site, we have free SSL security. We got 500 megabytes for storage, which for the two sites that I've used that are free is more than enough. And there is, you can redirect your domain to the Weebly branding. What else do we get that's free? The good thing that I've found with Weebly sites is the search engine optimization. So our SEO, they're very good at being able to give you the right code to try and optimize your website so that it gets picked up by Google. And I've done that on all of the three sites. So let's have a look at the free site first of all. So we'll look at Sinners Music. So if I type sinnersmusic.co.uk into here and hit return, you'll see that it automatically links to sinnersmusic.weebly.com and the index page. Now I've redirected the domain name to be here. I've recently changed the way that the site looks, and it's still a work in progress. But you'll see down here we've got this advert. Okay, can't do anything about that, I'm stuck with it. Sometimes when you first log onto the site, the advert isn't there, but the minute you click onto another page, the advert pops up. Okay, now some people may find that annoying. That's the price for a free website. If we look at Pocklington Music, I could use .com.co.uk. I've got both. Just spell it right. Now, because this is a paid website, we don't get the Weebly URL. What I've done is I've purchased these domain names. I've purchased pocklingtonmusic.com and pocklingtonmusic.co.uk. They both redirect to Weebly, but there is no, we can accept that because that's just the web tracking stuff, which we don't really use. But so the website, you've got no way of knowing that it's actually hosted by Weebly. Now, from a cost point of view, that's the small business and store, which is £18 a month. Now, Weebly is hosted in America, so you'll see that some of this stuff is free domain is $20, and although this bit's paid. So we've got unlimited storage, we've got shopping carts, and we'll have a quick look at the shopping cart. I don't use half of this other stuff that's on here, but it's all there if we wanted it. If we look at the actual shop, so we're selling musical instruments. So, and I designed the way that this web shop looks. So if we go into guitars and we want to say purchase a guitar, it's actually very, very simple. So click on the product, down the bottom we've got add to cart, and then it pops it in the cart. It's linked to PayPal, but it's also linked to Stripe, and most transactions, and you get to choose at checkout as to whether you want to choose Stripe, again another American company, or PayPal. If people choose PayPal, we get paid instantly. If people choose Stripe, which is mainly for credit cards, then the payment takes about 4 or 5 days after we've sent the goods to appear in our account. But that's the pay tier. And currently I buy it for 2 years at a time, and it's costing about £100 a year to have the business version of Weebly. And obviously there are slightly different versions. What you tend to find is that with the Pro version you've got the shop, but if I remember rightly, it's limited to how many. I think you can only put 100 items in your shop, whereas with the business version it's unlimited. And that's this. I've just noticed this accept payments through Square. Square is something new. We don't use Square, we use Stripe, unless they've changed the name of it. So that's Weebly. I find it very easy to use, to actually create the site. There's nothing I'm not able to do. I can put code in there. As you saw on the sites, we've got tweets. We can pop videos in. We've got all of this sort of stuff, links to the studio. So it's very straightforward. You can have scrolling banners if you want all that sort of stuff. We wanted this particular site to look quite static, and so it does. Let's have a look at an alternative. So the next one is Squarespace. Now Squarespace, I have used Squarespace a little bit. They used to have a free tier, which they've now stopped. So Squarespace is a paid tier, so you can only have a paid website. And the way this works is the minimum is what's called personal space for £10 a month. So it's £10 a month if you buy annually, so it's £120 a year plus applicable taxes. So we're assuming that if we did do this, we'd have to be paying 20% VAT on top of that. Or if you buy it month by month, it's going to be £13. That's quite expensive for a personal website, and the business website is going to be £15 a month if we buy it annually. So that's going to be £180 plus VAT, and it does look like we get ultimate bandwidth and storage. I'm looking for a shop. It does say sell unlimited products, limits on the number of products in your inventory. So there is some sort of a shop on there, but it's different to what they class as an online shop. Now I mean, there obviously we're paying £20 a month for a basic, or you can have an even better version for £30 a month, which seems to me very expensive. To be paying £360 a year plus VAT for an all singing, all dancing Squarespace site doesn't do it for me. So let's have a look at another one. Another one is YouCraft. Now YouCraft, so they have a free website. The good things about YouCraft is that you can have a custom domain with the free plan, so you don't have to have the like Weebly, where we've got weebly.com. What the sort of things we get, we can connect it to your domain. You've got SSL security, which we've got with Weebly. No shop, okay? We only get the shop when we pay in £21 a month, and you can start with a 14-day free trial if you're into that. You're limited with the Pro Shop to 1,000 products. Now that may not be a problem. It's certainly not a problem for our online business, but £21 a month, paid annually, £250 a year, doesn't say whether that is including VAT or not. Okay, but you can certainly try the free website, get the website up and running, see whether you want to move up to one of the other tiers. The next one we've got is ImCreator. So this one, you can have a free license, unlimited hosting, you can connect it to your own domain, you can access all of the themes. There's an eShop. I've never used ImCreator, so I'm not sure how big the actual shop is on there, but it's ads free, which is quite an interesting thing. And then you can get a premium for £8 a month, or you can buy an unlimited license with a white label, whatever a white label is. What's the white label? Let's see. Let's have a look at what a white label is. It doesn't tell me. It just takes me to an activation page, so we'll forget that. Don't know very much about it. Haven't seen any reviews about it. Just looking at this, our website builder white label option includes built-in functionality for all of your users' website needs. So if you have multiple users, then that seems to be what that's about. I've never used ImCreator. If any of you guys are, it'd be great if you could leave a comment down below. Tell us what you think about it. Is it any good? Is it rubbish? It'd be great to know. The next one we've got is Site123. It's completely free, apparently. Again, haven't used Site123, but it'd be good to know if any of you guys have. Doesn't tell us very much without actually going a bit further on. We could try. Nope, nothing. We have to start it. Oh, right, okay. So it will allow us to create an online store or a business or different types. How far can we get before? So if we try log off, not log off, bog off records. What happens when we go to the final step? Okay, so can't get any further than that before we actually have to register with them. So I'm not going to do that, but if any of you guys want to try them, or you're already using Site123, it'd be good to have some feedback and we can add that in another video. Next one is Google Sites. Now Google Sites, I'm not going to log into here. I don't use Google Sites, and the sort of stuff that I've seen written about Google Sites is don't think of it like it's a free website. It's not apparently it's not suitable, and I've read this in more than one place. It's not suitable for small businesses, but it is a way of connecting all of the Google services. So if you're using lots of Google services, then Google Sites is worth considering, but don't consider it as just a website for your business. Next one, Wix. Now Wix does have a free tier. It's limited. You've got a 50 megabit bandwidth limit on the free sites, and let's see if we can find out a bit more about how much we pay for how much does it cost. So here we are, subscriptions. Oh, there we go. Right. So it doesn't mention the free tier, but we know that there is a free tier. So this is just their websites. We've got the most basic, which is basically just to connect your domain to the website. You're going to get 1 gigabyte of bandwidth, which is pretty low really, 500 megabytes of storage, and you connect to them, nothing else. And obviously you get the website. £3 a month. Then we move up to what they consider for personal use, a bit more storage, a bit more bandwidth. You can put 30 video minutes, so it seems like on the most basic tier we've got you can't add videos, and both of these tiers obviously have, well, this lower tier has got ads on it. At £6 a month it'll remove the ads. Then we get into unlimited bandwidth and further up the scale. Let's just have a quick look at the business and e-commerce tier. Business Basics, £13 a month, £16 a month for unlimited. With all of these you can accept online payments. Now it looks like with the basic web tiers that you can't accept online payments because it's not saying that. Sometimes there are ways around that. You can actually, if you've got a PayPal account, you can add PayPal buttons onto standard websites, and we've done that. If we go back and just look at the Sinners Music page and we look at the Sinners shop, so this these things here, which says add to cart, that's just a PayPal button which has been added. So although we know that Weebly will allow us to have a very limited e-commerce, we can put these in just on any web page. So there are ways round the e-commerce thing if your website won't allow you to actually have an e-shop. Let's have a look at another one. The next one is WordPress. Now the thing to note here, first of all, WordPress.com and WordPress.org are completely different companies. The WordPress.org is a blogging site, whereas WordPress.com is a website builder. So let's have a look at their plans. So you can create a free site. The main thing to say about the free site is that it will randomly insert ads into your content, which I really didn't like the idea of. So literally you can have a web page and suddenly an advert will appear for Amazon or Google or something else, that sort of thing. So that's not keen on that. So what do we get with the free? We'll come back to the pricing, but free, we get essential features, we get some free themes, and that's pretty much it by the look of it. And we know that they're putting websites in. You can have a blogger site. When we start to get, what's the pricing? So blogger sites, £2.25 a month, personal site £4 a month, premium, which is the most popular, they say £7 a month, £20 a month for a business site, and a proper full-blown e-commerce site £36 a month. Now that's quite expensive, nearly £400 a year. Again, doesn't say whether the VAT is included for an full e-commerce site. It does seem quite expensive to me. Never used WordPress. Again, if you have used it and you've got some good feedback, pop it in the comments below. I'm sure other people will be interested to know how good or bad it is. So that just about concludes this video on choosing a website. So one more thing I would say about this, while we're selecting a website, I would also register for a Facebook page for the business. I would also try and get the Twitter handle, Instagram, and any other social media sites that you might want to use. We'll go into detail about using those particular sites because they're going to become a main part of our advertising as we progress. In the next video, we'll get down to the nitty-gritty and start a business plan I'm currently preparing a template that you'll be able to use to start your business plan. Particularly useful if you're going to go to banks looking for money. They'll want to know that there is some sort of a plan there. So we'll look at that in the next video. So thanks very much for watching. If you like what I do, hit the subscribe button and ding that little bell so you're notified when the videos go live. And a thumbs up is always much appreciated. See you in the next video. Thanks very much. Bye bye.